Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing a reset. I have a lot of things that I need to get done. I would say before the new year, but it's December 31st right now and I can't get everything done today. I used to be somebody that hated starting things after the new year. I wanted everything to be done on December 31st, so the start of the new year was very clean, very fresh, but I've definitely grown out of that and I am very happy for that because now I think it's okay to start something on January 17th if you want. It doesn't have to be the beginning of the new year, so I'm not putting that pressure on myself. I'm just going with the flow. I have a list here in my Notion of everything that I want to get done. I want to do my reading journal. I took down all my Christmas decor. I still have my snowflake blanket, but that's winter themed and it's blue, so I'm just going to keep it for now. I have organized my TBR cart. It's not too bad right now, but I think that I can do some things. I don't know. We'll take a look at that. And then I make my own custom concert tickets for the shows that I go to, so I have those printed out. I need to cut those out and add them to my stack. My planner's all set up. That's good to go. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my Notion setup. I went through and attempted to do a Notion setup. It's very difficult for me though. I don't feel like Notion is very user-friendly unless I'm just really dumb, but I cannot for the life of me figure out all the special things on Notion. I have it very basic and it works for me, so we're just going to stick with that, but I did want to do a few things on there, so I'll show you that. Also, at the end of every year I write a letter to myself and then I read the letter that I wrote to myself last year. So today I'm going to be reading my letter from last year and then I'm going to write another one. That is our to-do list. I will take you along with me. We'll get some things done just so I'm prepared and feel organized for the new year. But let's get into our first task. Alright, I'm going to show you guys my Notion setup right now. So I have this cover photo right here. This is going to be my main goals page. My cover photo is my vision board that I made for next year. I've never made a vision board before, so I did a little tiny one. You can't see all of it right now, but I did print it out and put it in my planner, so when I show you guys that, you will see the whole thing. Basically, I have 2025, and then I have this split into 3 different sections. So we have YouTube right here. This is just where I'm going to keep track of things or just important data that I want to know. So I'm going to put my subscriber count at the start of 2025 just so I can see at the end of the year how many subscribers I gained. And then the only other thing I have in here is my revenue and then to track the number of video uploads that I have for each month. That is the YouTube one, not too crazy. And then business, I have basically the same thing. So this is for my small business. I have my monthly sales, just all of my profits that I make each month. I do track this in a notebook right now, which I'll probably do the same thing, but I just want to have something to see in one place for all of my stuff. So we have that, and then I have my launches that I want to do or things that are coming up. So I'm going to be going back into here and changing a lot of this as the year goes on. Right now I have my tote bags that it's going to be my first launch of the year. I think those actually just got delivered, so I'll be making those in this video as well. And then I also have t-shirts which were supposed to launch last year in the fall time, but I ended up moving and that whole process took quite some time, so I didn't end up doing the t-shirts, but I'm going to do the tote bags first and then we'll launch t-shirts later. Then I have things I need to get done. I have to buy new fabric for headbands. I want to buy new scrunchy fabric. Okay, that is supposed to say satin, not sating. And then I have my vendor shows, my in-person shows. I have a list started here. These are the ones that I've already paid for. I will have more coming up, so that list will be added to and rearranged as I put in more contracts. And then I have my personal goals. It's very hard for me to set goals for some reason. I don't know why. These are very simple. I read 6 books a month. I do want to cut down on the amount I read just because I want to spend more time with books. I want to read slower. So I think 6 books a month is going to be good for me. It's still 72 books a year, which is a lot. I do want to walk more often. I go to a park all the time, but I want to walk more around that park when the weather's nice. And then we also have a treadmill set up in our spare room, so if the weather's not nice or if I can't go to the park that day, then I'll just walk on the treadmill. But I want to make that a daily thing, if not like 5 times a week maybe. And then I want to keep up on my reading journal, my Notion, and my planner. Last year my reading journal, I didn't even do a single monthly spread. I never kept up with it, and I would really like to because it's going to be something that is crafty and that I can work on, and I really want to get those crafty things back into my life. And then Notion, I do want to come in here every so often, maybe once a week, and update things, see how it's going, and change things around if I need to. And then my planner, I do pretty good at keeping up on my planner, but I want to utilize it more. I have take more pictures. So I have a Polaroid camera. I do want to take more pictures on that because they're just so cute to have a little physical picture. And then also on my phone. And this is because I used to take so many pictures. I miss it. And I was scrolling through my Tumblr the other day, and my Tumblr is the most me that I can be. My Tumblr represents me so well, but being on Tumblr reminded me of all the pictures I used to take, and I miss it. I miss taking pictures of things that I think look cool. Lastly, I have wake up earlier and get out of bed shortly after. I have the biggest issue with sleep and waking up and getting out of bed. It's the biggest thing that bothers me about myself at this moment. I want to get up around 7 or 7:30 and just get out of bed right after that. So that is the only new thing right here. I also have my monthly plans, which are my list of video ideas, and then I have each month. I have the previous month, the current month, and then the next month. I just move those ideas around. I also have my physical TBR in here, which this will also be in my reading journal, but I've used it on Notion as well. And then I also have my 2025 TBR. So every time I read one of these, I'll just check it off. But that's pretty much it for my Notion. Not anything too crazy, but I really think it's going to help me. Next up, I want to organize my TBR cart. It's not messy right now, but I feel like I can put these books in a separate order. I have my Charizard nano block that doesn't belong there. I need to make that. I have all of my taller books, my hardcovers up here. This one I can actually move down, but I don't know if I will. But I'm just gonna move Malice over because it's taller, just so we get a little more visually appealing moment there. I do have my reading light in the back, but I don't honestly need this anymore, and it doesn't really work well anyway, so I might just get rid of it. I don't know. I guess I'll just chuck it in the back for now. As for this shelf, I have my TBR jar right here. I did put all of my prompts that I used in my previous TBR videos back in here, just so they're all in there for the new year. I think I'm gonna do the books that I want to get to first on this shelf. These are all of my annotating supplies. I have my tabs and my highlighters in here, which I don't really use anymore because I don't want to annotate too much. This I'm gonna move to the bottom. I don't know. Or should I do books that I've had on my TBR the longest? Maybe that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that instead. So Ninth House has definitely been on my TBR for a long time. I'll just put Hellbent with it. Heavenly Bodies, which the traditional published version is coming out, I think January 14th. But this is the indie published version. I'm hoping I like this because the new cover is so beautiful. So I definitely want to pick that up or read it on Kindle when that comes out. This is the poetry book I have that I have not gotten to. So I just need to read that and get it on my shelf. This is newer, and then I've had that one for quite a while, and then A Love Letter to Whiskey. I don't think I'm gonna like that book, and I'm pushing it off. I just need to read it and see if I like it or not. Alright, I'm gonna put that back up there. All of these ones I got pretty recently, so I'm just gonna put that down there. This one is the first book in a series. I don't know if it's gonna be a trilogy. The second book is out in paperback, but the third one came out, and I think that's in hardcover. Or maybe the second one's in hardcover. I want to wait a little while to read this until it gets closer to all the books being out in paperback. The Secret History I'm actually going to read very soon, so that's going to be, I'm going to leave that for over there. I also want to read Pride and Prejudice soon. True Colors, I don't really care to read about that. That wasn't my fall TBR, but I'm gonna push it off even more. Everything I Never Told You of Jade and Dragons. I do really want to get my Owl Crate books off of my TBR. I'm gonna put this one down here too. This is also Owl Crate. And then I will have these last two, put those in the last spots over there. We'll do a different angle for those, I guess. But that is it for my physical TBR. I don't even know if that made a difference, but I feel better. So that's all that matters. These are all of my concert tickets from, I believe, 2022 I started making these. So all the concerts that I've been to in the past 3 years, I have my tickets for. And then I am missing 3. So I printed these out. I'm going to cut these out and just add them to here. I hope they're the same size. Actually, I should probably check. I always keep them in my Google Docs so I can see the sizing, but sometimes my printer really sucks. Okay, they are the same size. We're good. I have these 3. I just love them. They're super cute. I have the Van Camino, Devil Wears Prada, and then the Plot in You. I always print these out on a cardstock paper so it's a little thicker, but they always end up curving. So the first ones I made for 2022, I had them stuck to my wall and they just kept falling off because they're thicker, they're a heavier paper. They did not want to lay flat. And I don't know why, because this paper is flat, but as soon as I cut them, they curl up. And it only happens with these. Like, I printed so much stuff on my cardstock paper, and it does not curl when it's cut. So I don't understand. But, I have these. I'm gonna, actually, I'll lay them out. Once I cut these out, I'll show them all to you, just because I love them so much. I love concerts, and I miss physical tickets. I love that I do this. Topic of bands and music, I have another little craft task that I need to do. I have guitar pick displays from the picks that I get from concerts. These are what I used to use, so this is just like a little easel style frame that I get from Michael's, but I have 6 now. So I got this new one at the last concert I went to, and now that I have 3, Michaels has a frame that holds 3 separate things, and they're a little bit smaller, but they still work for a guitar pick. So I'm gonna make one of those and put these 3 in there. I have my album covers printed out right here, and I will just show you guys how I make my guitar pick displays. This is the frame from Michaels. It's only, I think it's like $4, and sometimes they're on sale. This is what I use when I get a pick, or I use a bigger frame if I just have one individually. Now that I have an extra one, I can do the 3. What I do is whatever pick I get, whatever the band was, I print one of their album covers and just tape the pick onto the album cover and then slide it in the frame. Actually, this is the first pick I ever got, and this is Invent Animate, which is just a little orangey red one, but I'm just gonna take that off of there. Moving on, this little mini version of their album cover, which this is the only thing that sucks about this is that it covers up a lot on the smaller size, but it still works, so I don't know, I don't mind it. I also feel like these colors on these albums are gonna go together very well. I'm gonna put this one in the middle just because they're my favorite band out of all of these. Dark Divine. This one was literally just laying on the floor. They weren't even playing yet. Like usually they throw them after they play, after their set. That one was just laying on the floor in front of me. And then the first one I just showed you, the tour that band was on, there were 2 dates that they came in Michigan. So I went to one, and then my sister and her husband went to another one, and then they got that pick at their concert, so they gave it to me because they don't listen to them. And it's funny because all the picks that I have 6 of them now. I have not caught a single one myself, so if it wasn't for other people, I would not have these picks. I have an A Day to Remember pick, and that one fell behind like these big boxes that they had. I was at Barricade, and then it's like the security area before the stage hits, and there were all these boxes, and I saw the pick fall behind there, and I was like, I need this. Like, A Day to Remember is my favorite band. So at the end, we asked security guards if they could look for it, and I felt so bad, but they were really, really nice about it. There were like 5 of them looking for this guitar pick, and they could not find it at first, and I was like, oh god, this sucks. Like, I really want that pick. And then eventually they did find it, and I was so happy. I could not be more thankful for them looking for it. But this is Dark Divine. This is the one that I just picked up off the ground. This band was the opening band for the last concert that I went to. I have never heard their songs before this. They were good. They were fun. I like them. That's theirs. This is Windwalkers. This is their album cover, which this is gonna be kind of I don't want to cover this up, but I have to. Like, there's nowhere else for this to go. The statue's just gonna be peeking over a little bit, I guess. Might look a little funny. Okay, those are my picks. I'm gonna put them back on my shelf. I just love these so much. They're so cute. And then it's good now because hopefully I'll get more, and then I have these 2 that the other ones were in. I can use these for the future and not put them to waste. It's actually funny because when I got this one at the last concert I went to, there's a band that is one of my favorite bands that was the last opening band, and they threw their pick out and it went to the dude next to me. I was like, freaking dang it. It sucks being short because everybody, like, if someone's tall around you and they're throwing a pick in your direction, they're gonna get it. Like, you're not. I'm screwed. I'm happy that guy got it though, because he was a big fan of this band as well. He was wearing merch for the band. He was singing every song, and I was so happy to be next to him, because sometimes, like, when you're at a concert and you love the band and you're singing all the songs and the people around you don't necessarily know the music because they're the opening band, it's just not as hype. But when you get someone next to you that also knows the band and they're hype, it makes you more hype, and it's just so much fun. Here is my planner portion. So this is my previous planner for 2024. I'm not going to run through this just because my new planner is very similar to this, and I'm going to be showing you all the pages in there. So this is the old planner, and then we're going to get my little note out in the back. This is the letter that I wrote to myself at the beginning of this year, or the end of last year. So I will be opening this later. And then this is my new planner. This just says 2025. It's got a blue chevron background. I don't know if you guys can really see that. This is the vision board that I was talking about. I have random stuff. I don't know. I've never made one of these, so I didn't really know what exactly to put, but just things that I like or just how I want my life to look. Up in the corner, I have a concert crowd. I'm hoping to go to more. This one is a girl running. I absolutely hate running, so I'm just gonna view this as she's walking. I will walk 800 miles before I run 200 feet. I don't know what it is. It makes me so mad. I'd rather walk. I will walk forever. And I'm happy when I walk, but I hate running. So this is walking. I want to walk more. This is just a beach picture. Some girl reading a book on the beach. It looks so perfect. I will say this whole page looked very different on my computer. It printed so dark. So just imagine this a little bit lighter. And then I don't know if you can tell, but I have like a 2025 the numbers overlay. That's why it might look a little weird. And then in the middle here, I have a whole bunch of orders, like small business orders. I want my small business to thrive this year. I really plan on focusing on it. Hopefully this is what my office will look like. And I got a fat stack of cash right here because we can dream, and I'm gonna dream, and this is gonna happen eventually. That's all I have to say about this one. Bottom left corner, I have like keys to an apartment or a house, and I put closer because I don't plan on moving out this year. I know that I probably won't, but I do want to get into a position where I feel like I am ready to go and I can go when I make that decision. Next up, I have this outfit, or this girl wearing this outfit that I absolutely love. I found this on Pinterest a while ago, and I'm obsessed with the colors, her hair, just her tights, her boots, everything. I definitely want to wear cuter outfits and feel more comfortable in wearing cuter clothes and clothes that I really feel like suit me, and this is like my ideal look. And then this picture is, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's like a hiking trail. I love hiking and I definitely want to go on hikes this year. Down here I have a vlogging camera for my YouTube channel. I want to hit 5K. I think that's a stretch because the past like year and a half that I've actually focused on my channel, I have gained like a little over 1,000 a year. So at this rate, if I stick to that, I'm not gonna hit 5K, but I have faith. I think I'm gonna do it. If I put this on a vision board, it's gonna happen, right? That's the whole point of a vision board. And then I just have like a confidence thing, and then clear skin, shiny hair, fit body, and healthy mind. I'm ready to take care of myself finally and feel good about myself. So I think 2025 is gonna be a good year. So this is my little vision board that I absolutely love. But other than that, I have my first weekly setup. I don't want to show everything on there, so I'm gonna just go to the next week to show you guys how it looks. I have a tracker thing down here. I put the same for every week, so that'll be there when I set this up, but this is what a week will look like. I'll just put all of my daily to-do tasks. Back here I have an overview for 2025, so I'm going to put all of my in-person vendor shows for my business in here. If I'm going on a trip, I'll add that on later. This is just so I can look on this page and see what I'm doing every month. It goes on to the last 6 months of the year. Next, I have my monthly goals. I already wrote January down, but there's a goal in there that will spoil a video idea, so I don't want to show you guys that. But basically, you write 3 goals down, do priorities, your first steps to accomplish those goals, and then at the end of the month, I'll come back and see if I did it, how it turned out, what you learned, and then a reward, which I never have a reward, and then you can like rate it 5 stars depending on how you felt about it. And then I have a 1-line-a-day journal. I'll come back here usually before I go to bed or sometime at night, and I'll just write whatever I felt that day or whatever my main thought was for that day. And this is fun to look back on because my previous planners, I've looked back on these and something can be so vague, but I know exactly what I was feeling in that moment or why I wrote that down. Next, I have a couple pages to make lists. So I have concerts. I keep track of my concerts or like ones that are announced that I want to go to. I'll write down here. And then I have video ideas. I have books. This is technically books to read, but I do this to keep track of the books that I've read. Obviously, I'm going to have a reading planner, but I put it in here as well. It's just more simple, so I write down the title, the author, usually my main thought about the book, and then my rating. When I do my reading wrap-ups, I usually come back to this, and then this is where my letter will go. We'll put it in that pocket when I'm done writing it. That is my planner. The first time I did this was back in 2019, so I wrote a letter to read at the end of 2020, and that year was so many ups and downs, and it was rough. So reading the letter that I wrote in 2019 was very, very emotional, but I feel like as of right now, they're not as emotional anymore. I totally recommend doing this though, because it is so refreshing to see how much changes in a year, whether it's good or bad, and it's interesting to see what I was thinking at the end of last year and what I wrote in here. I think I'm going to wait until later in the day to write my new letter for 2025. Honestly, I don't feel like it's going to be too different, but I'm going to go see if my tote bags have arrived now, and if they have, I will make one of those and see if it works out, hopefully, and then I got to get pictures taken. I want to get those up for pre-order very, very soon. So by the end of this video, you guys will know whether or not the tote bags are available. You guys will see what they look like. I only have one design right now, but if you have any ideas for any other tote bags or sayings or designs you want, feel free to let me know, but we will go make those and see how it turns out. They're here. I got them. I ordered 10 just to start out. These are the tote bags that I have used myself for over a year now. I'm going to show you the one that I have made for myself and have been using. It has many a cat hair on it, but if we can just ignore that, I don't even know if you'll be able to tell. Can we like actually not be annoying for 2 seconds? This one is the only one that I could find that would pretty much go over your shoulder and that had the color black. So it just says, too short. It just says, "This is my book bag." Very simple. I've also added some pins to it. I don't know. I think it's cute. I love it. I love how simple the saying is. So I have 10 of those. I do have a new font for my transfer though, so I have quite a bit of these. It's a little bit of a bigger print. My other one is embroidered. I used to have an embroidery machine. I got rid of that though, so now I'm just doing heat press stuff. So these will be heat pressed, different font, and a little bit bigger of a graphic. couple days since I filmed the last clip. I'm still working on my reading journal. I'll do a little flip through of that in a second and show you what I've been up to. I think I'm only halfway through. It's taking forever and I don't understand why, but I did finish my tote bags. I worked on them the day that you guys saw me working on them. I did half of them and then I did half yesterday. I finished them. I only ordered 10 to start out with because I'm doing pre-orders, but this is the final result. It's a little bigger than my other one. I'll show you guys a comparison. This is the old one, embroidered. I gotta switch out my pins too. So this is the difference. Don't have my embroidery machine anymore, so this cannot be done again. I'll probably keep that one though, just in case. But this is the new one. I really like it. I like that it's bigger and bolder. It doesn't look too big, but it holds a lot. It's a nice fit. I don't really know how to promote my own products. So this is this. It'll be up in my shop by the time you guys are seeing this video. It's always linked in the description. I think it's the first link. These will be a pre-order. I do have 8 available right now because I accidentally destroyed one of them and I'll keep you one for myself. I have 8 made that I can ship out right away. I'm just gonna do a 2-week pre-order just to be safe. If you want one of these, feel free to pick one up. That is a tote bag situation. If you would like one or you just want to check them out, whatever, you can go to my shop link. I'm gonna show you my reading journal and what I have done of it. Let's go do that and then we're almost done with this video. I feel like my reading journal is the last thing that I need to do and complete. I feel really good about everything else. Everything feels organized. I feel prepared. This is my reading journal. I will have this link below as well if you're looking for one. This is a blank. I did not, well, I think, okay, I knew that when I bought it, but I think I would have been better off getting a bulleted one. But I love the color of this. It's like a blue-gray. It has 2 bookmarks, or 2 ribbon bookmarks, which I don't really understand why there's 2, but I guess it could be helpful. The first pages are kind of stuck or they're weird. They don't open all the way, so I'm just flipped to this one. That's my starting page. And then all of these like scrapbooky papers, I got a book from Michael's. It's called like Academia, and it's just a huge paper pad. There's 180 sheets in there, so whatever you see, like these 2, my letters are just a piece of those papers, whatever. And then I also got like a sticker thing from Michael's as well. And then next I have my bookshelf page. I don't have markers to color with. I only have colored pencils. So this isn't too bold, or it's not as bold as I would like it to be. I just have a little reading nook with a window and then some stuff on the bookshelves. I was thinking of pre-drawing the books on here to have a layout and to make it look more full right now, but I just didn't feel like doing that, so that's why the shelves are plain. I may get to it eventually, but as of right now, I want to finish all my other pages before I put some books on here. And then next, I like this page as well. It's very simple, but this is my reading challenge page. And I like the circles instead of using squares like I did last year. I feel like it gives it more of a typewriter effect. Next, I have my 2025 TBR. I don't know if you guys can tell, but these images printed so much darker than they show up on a computer. I think everything that I'm gonna print out from there is gonna be really dark. So a little upset about that, but it's okay, we can work with it. But I just glued all them on here. I have a little checkbox under all of them, so that way when I read them, I can just check it off to know how far along I am. Next, I like this page as well. I think this one's honestly my favorite, even though it's the most simple. This is my series tracker, so I have not as many series as I thought I was going to. I think I'm gonna continue this onto this page as well though, just because I feel like I'm going to get into a lot more series, and I think I can fit about 6 more on this side, but just in case I'm going to leave the other page blank. And then that is all I got done. I worked on it literally all day yesterday, but this is going to be my series continued. This is going to be my physical TBR on this page, and then I have the amount of money I spend on books every year. I did that in my last reading journal, and I really like this page, so I'm going to do that again. And then I'm going to have my favorites from each month will be on this page, and then a little DNF graveyard, and then we'll start my January spread. I'll show you guys the final result when I get it done. That's it for now.
The smoothest stones, sitting with the river's bones, glimmer with the white of passing light in this unknown. And sprouting seeds, pushing through the forest green, making up their way, and day by day they'll turn to trees. Winter falls just as spring to summer's call. And we do that, we're just human after all. Sun or snow, all the